Hello, guys, and welcome to episode 8 of Waves. I am your host, Nate, alongside my co host, Alexandra.
Hello.
Yes, so I do apologize in advance. With being parents, days are just getting mixed up left, right. So I do apologize in advance. We weren't able to record on our normal day, which is Sunday. So here we are tonight making it up for you guys. Um, we've decided that our Q&A episode is probably going to be for a later date. So yeah, we've just decided, well, I've decided that I'm going to interview my wife and ask, what was it like growing up in the North in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, since she's a Northern girl and I was born here in Florida. So we kind of met and then our worlds collided from there. So, Alexandra, you are originally from what? Philadelphia, you said?
More so on the outskirts.
Outskirts of what?
Gilbertsville, Boyertown.
Boyertown.
Gilbertsville, Boyertown area. Yeah, like Reading, Lancaster.
Is that like kind of more woodsy type deal than anything else, or?
It's kind of like the suburbs.
It's still kind of suburbs.
Yeah, it's like you have like the neighborhoods are tucked back. So like if you go into like the town, that's considered where the grocery stores are, convenience stores, pharmacies. Then if you go like uptown, then the roads kind of go up.
Do they
and then you have like shops on the side, like they had Bouse's, Rite Aid, but you park parallel. Yeah, so like when you're parked down here, it's like flat, but
so you kind of more in a sense up north you have hills, down here it's just flat hot ground.
Yeah.
That's just pretty much that.
Yeah, there's a lot of trees. Altitude and stuff. There's a lot of trees and sidewalks.
Interesting.
The banks are tucked in with like shopping plazas, kind of like down here, but it's all kind of like in one whole area.
Oh, like a giant
so it's not plaza. Like down here going from the house to Target all the way up in Orange City, and then from here to Walmart down into Deltona.
Oh yeah, so it's not
everything's together.
It's more kind of like together rather than just being spaced out.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up in the North? Because I know you guys got all the seasons and everything else, and we don't really get that down here.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember as far back as age 4, and when you're a kid, everything feels different. Seasons, the holidays, getting school supplies, Friday nights, or at 8 o'clock at night, show that you can't wait to come on. But it was my home. And we had January, it started getting warm into February, March, April into May, really. And then June, May, June, and July was kind of like summertime. And then once August hit,
that's when the fall and everything would start.
The fall started. It started getting cooler, breezier. The way the sun sits up there is different too. Like it's fall, or you're getting into fall, like more like an autumn. And then by October it's cold.
Yeah.
Into the winter time. And then November, you have leaves that pile up in people's yards because there's so many different types of trees up there than down here. It's like everybody has like the trees that have all the big leaves. They all change color. And then one thing that you don't see down here are the pumpkin bags filled with leaves. You don't see leaf piles. Kind of like what you see like in a storybook, like the leaves all in a pile and you jump in them.
Oh, kind of like what you see in like holiday Hallmark movies and all that
stuff. Yeah,
like
literally, like we did that. Like back home was like, it was like that. And then pumpkins. Everybody pretty much knew each other when it came to like trick-or-treating. Everybody kind of knew each other. Because
it was like a small coast town.
My neighborhood, everybody in the neighborhood went to the same school. through kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth.
That's right. I remember you talking to me about that sometimes.
It's like down
some time
here,
ago, with the
there's
school system is completely different up there, isn't
like
it?
just up here in Deltona, we have all these schools. Back home, there was literally like the town that I'm from, one elementary, one junior high, and that's literally like what they call it. It's not middle school. It's not called that. It's called junior high. And junior high, elementary is K through fifth, sixth. Junior high is 7th through 9th, and then high school is 10 to 12.
See, that's how I don't see how that would work out too well. Like just me trying to picture it.
Down here, middle school is
6 to 8.
6 to 8, but then you rotate all your classes. Whereas up north, all the way till 6th grade, you have one room. But then 6th grade, they start to like teach you. So like let's say there's 5 teachers. There's only 5 teachers. So in 6th grade, there's 5 teachers. So there's 5 6th grade rooms. 5th grade, there was only 5 teachers. So even though you were in, like I was in Mrs. Farrow's class for 5th grade, I still knew everybody in the other 4 classrooms because we all went to lunch, we all went to recess, and then we moved up together. So everybody from 2nd grade to 6th, we all knew each other. We were always in the same grade photo. And then like when 6th grade came, you went from your one room, like your main teacher that you're assigned to, in the afternoon time, you'll go to geometry, math, you'll go to English / language arts, and then history. So they like got you prepared for like switching classes. But 6th grade is like down one hallway.
It's just the one
So
hallway.
it's not like 6th grade down here. You go to,
this room for that class. And
you go to this teacher for here, and then you go all the way across campus for this next teacher and subject. Yeah. It's all down the same hallway.
So.
And then each day you have, like Monday would be music, a computer. Tuesday would be art. Wednesday would be computer, music, whichever one I said first, that it would be the opposite. So, and then Thursday was computer. There was computer, music, art, gym, and there's something else I can't remember. Like a math or something. I don't know why I can't remember. But each day of the week you had a different
subject,
like elective. Basically, so every Friday was gym. Every Wednesday was music. Every Thursday was computer. Every Tuesday was art. Monday, I don't remember what Monday was. I don't remember that.
Well, that's kind of cool, though. At least you'd have, like, you would be able to set yourself up. You're like, okay, Friday, I'm going to be getting all hot and sweaty for gym. And like, you would plan around at your outfits or your day or whatever, And
then they would have a nurse. Like twice a year, they would put a scale in the hallway down a certain hallway with a scale, a height chart, and they would do all those different things that was included in like going to that school.
Mm-hmm.
But then down here, they don't do that. You have to go to an actual doctor. Like the parents have to take you to the doctor, whereas up north in the school, you get that stuff done there, and it doesn't cost anything.
Huh? That's bizarre.
I mean, they don't give shots, but then if you had like medicine that you had to take, you had to actually go to the front office into the nurse's room to get the medications.
Well, we've had that down here, something similar from when I was in school. Like throughout school, we'd have like the nurse's office, but that'd be like in the front of like where the office, like the main offices, like principal offices and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We'd have a nurse's office down here, like going to elementary school, middle school and stuff. But like you said, they want to do like actual shots to give you, like if you got any medication or you got hurt or whatever or something. They call your parents
and we had art shows twice a year. We had everything that we would do some stuff in art class that we would just take home. But then majority of it, if we did like different like clay or painting, whatever we made, we could actually see like in the art room on like the rolly tray carts that you used to have for nutritional services where the trays go.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was like big trays that they would have like clay things sitting on, so you could actually see your stuff dry.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And then you'd paint it. So all your stuff and like other kids from other grades that still had that because it was that one art teacher.
Mm.
So that one art teacher had all the first graders, second graders, third, fourth, fifth all see her. So we used to be able to see everybody else's art on the trays, and then she would have it displayed in the art show. So the art show was like through every grade's hallway.
Now, did you guys get awards or like ribbons or something for like best in show or
No,
whatever?
but they
Just, like-
always, we always, I mean, my stuff was always in the art show.
Oh, okay.
I mean, everybody always had something in the art show, but some people had more.
Just
and
depending
then-
on how artistic they were. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
there was also the Scholastic Book Fairs down
Oh.
here, and
No, we still had those. We had. I don't think we had them as much as you guys did, but we had that whole. We had like the weeks.
yeah, they would
Where
give
they
us
come
like
down
the
here.
Scholastic Book Fair, like paper thin magazine. You'd flip through it, what was
Yeah,
going to
we
be
get
there,
those. We would get those.
and we also had the book fairs. There was something else I was going to say. It was Secret Santa. So you'd go to the cafeteria. So you know how like I don't know, it's different down here. So they have like the auditorium down here, whereas back home in the schools they have the cafeteria. But then on the one side is a stage with a curtain, and that's where you would do like Christmas. You would do your chorus shows. You would do your Christmas carols, concerts that you'd put on. And then on the other side of the cafeteria was a door. It was like a long door, and it was like if you pushed on it, it would like you would like mold to it. So it would come into the wall, and then it would extend into the gym.
Oh, that's pretty unique.
So they had that, and then Secret Santa would be on that stage.
Uh-huh.
So at the last 2 hours of the day, starting December 1st, you would be able to go and look at like what they would have. It's kind of like going to, if you go like to the church, when we go to the church fair and you go into that building, they have all those tables set up with like unique things. We would go to there, and then we would be able to buy stuff for like our parents or our sisters for Christmas. So they had that.
That was pretty cool.
But other than that, there would be also the snow. Snow starts as early as October.
I've never seen snow.
Usually by Thanksgiving, it's snowed at least twice, and if it hasn't snowed Thanksgiving, you can guarantee you're gonna wake up to snow. So when you wake up on a holiday and it's snowing and you're cold and it's like that feeling like, oh, it's snowing, like it's different. It's different. It's like, oh, it's a different time of year.
I know you probably love those days where school's closed because it was snowed out or something.
We'd have 2 hour delays, and then you would hope like, because at 8 o'clock it would announce it, and if they had 2 hour delay, you have to catch the bus at 10. But then you would still get out at the same time that you would have originally. And then if you saw the snow plower, the big bulldozer plower,
snow plows.
Snow plows. They would push the snow into the corner street. So we were a corner lot, so they would put all the snow up into like the snow that was already there. And then if it was still like, if the bulldozer was taking too long, or snowplow was taking too long, you could always know, oh, we're not going to go to school today. But we didn't have makeup days. So like if school was canceled because of the snow, we didn't have to like at the end of the year, oh, you had 5 snow days, now you have to do 5 days longer into the school year.
See, I wish we had something like that down here. Like it's either we'd have to have makeup days sometimes for like, oh, you missed school.
Yeah, everything is a makeup day down here. The littlest thing.
Yeah.
And then they would have September, we would go back to school after Labor Day. So school would get out in early May. So we'd have basically half of May, June, July, August, and then go back early. So we'd have like 4.5 months off.
I wish we had that here.
Yep. And then one thing I always remembered was the big glass box in the front, like when you first enter the school, to the left.
Now, what school was this? Was this elementary?
Yeah, elementary. I only went to elementary.
Oh, that's right. Because you moved down here when?
12.
When you were 12.
So they had this big thing, and all year long, we would collect. We would collect pennies, and we'd fill the box with pennies. and all the pennies went to charity, but it was all pennies.
Oh wow.
And it was a big box.
That would suck if I ever had to count that.
Like, you know, the freezer?
Yeah.
You know, the freezer at a grocery store, like the long ones?
Yeah.
So without the doors, the ones that sit on like on the floor. Yes. If you took one of those and like stacked another on top and made it reshaped into a square, that's how big it was, but it was clear, so you could always see all the pennies. So throughout the year, you would see more pennies added, and it would get fuller and fuller, more full. And then when it snows, everybody pretty much decorates either on Thanksgiving. When it starts snowing, usually everybody's decorated by then. So usually everybody in the neighborhood would usually decorate at the same time because everybody knew each other. Yeah. So down here, like the neighborhood that we live in here, nobody talks to each other. But back home, like the one whole street, everybody talked to
one
another.
Did you live like on a cul-de-sac, or was it just like
no,
kind of
corner
like
lot?
One side? Oh.
But then everybody in the neighborhood, we caught the same bus.
Oh yeah.
So we caught the same bus. So they're on. So when it was, fall or Christmas or like wintertime, we would all play together in the snow. We would go to each other's houses, ride up and down the street on our bikes. We didn't have to like be driven because there wasn't all these crazies.
Yeah.
So when we moved down here, we went from a small town of literally like you see in Lifetime movies, like you can get on your bike. Oh, Mom, I want to be back later. And you can ride your bike up the road to Sarah's house and be there all day. And your mom knows where you are. Right. There's no question like, oh, did you get there safe? We didn't have cell phones.
There's no need for them.
We had a house phone, but that was it. You could leave your garage door open all night long. You never had to worry that somebody would go into your house or take something. Everybody looked out for one another. But down here, it's like, man, if you don't watch your back, watch out.
So let me ask you this. Was there anything like up north, like food or stores or like clothes that you missed that you just really can't find down here at all?
So just to finish that one topic though, about the Christmas, everybody used to decorate at the same time. Oh. So at nighttime, like once Thanksgiving came, everybody turned their lights on. So the whole street, like the whole neighborhood was lit up. Food, yeah, for sure. Izzy's cheesesteaks in Philly. It's called Izzy's cheesesteaks. Oh my God. There's nothing like a Philadelphia cheesesteak. What was that?
I don't know. It's our dogs. Sorry, we have dogs and they're barking. I don't know what they're barking at.
That was a little uncomfortable. So weird.
Okay, but sorry.
Continue. Okay, so anyway. They would wrap their hoagies or their cheesesteaks in aluminum foil. And they were always like thick, big, and cheesy.
Okay. That's what they do to keep them warm is wrap them in aluminum foil.
Yeah, but whenever we get cheesesteaks down here, they put them in the styrofoam little
box containers,
like pop lid. And then it gets all of the condensation, it gets watery, and then your stuff gets wet. Like it's totally different back home. Pizza, you never really saw people ordering pizzas. We very rarely do we order a pizza back home. Very rarely did you see a pizza place, like a pizza,
like Domino's,
like a delivery with the thing on the car. You never really saw pizza delivery.
Like just normal.
We barely ever ordered pizza. It was always homemade meals. We got done school and 4:00, the dinner's on the table when we walked in. Always ready to go. Apple cider.
You can still find that down here, but I don't think it's
like, but it doesn't taste the same.
Yeah.
And we would always go to, as a kid, we would go to field trips all the time. Once a month, we go to a field trip, and once a month, we go to the planetarium. And oh my God, it was so exciting to go to the planetarium. And then down here, you don't go to the planetarium. I found myself one day asking my teacher, when did we go to the planetarium? And she looked at me like I was like crazy. Like, what are you talking about? We don't do that. We never went on field trips. Tilly, before starting school down here, the kindergartner, she never had art shows. She never had field trips. She never went to the apple patch, pumpkin patch as a field trip. Never had like arts and crafts. Like we call them centers in school. So around the holidays, we'd have centers. Oh, that was what it was. Wednesdays, we'd have centers too. So each Wednesday, you would go to different stations in the classroom, and you'd do different things. So like around Christmas time or Halloween or Thanksgiving, we would make crafts that were designated to that.
Any holiday or whatever coming.
And we would have a Read Across America Day too. Read Across America Day was all based on Dr. Seuss, and you would come to school in your pajamas, pack a lunch, and bring like a blanket, a sleeping bag, and slippers, and you would literally hang out all day like that, and you would read and do crafts.
I really can't remember because I remember doing something similar to that. It was a whole week, but I can't remember what exactly it was because we did it in elementary school. I know exactly what you're talking. We had something similar to that,
but down here they don't do any of that.
Well, no, we did take field trips here and there. Cause I remember vividly, like 4th or 5th grade, we did the mud walk when that was really, really popular. I think that's still a thing. I don't know if it is or not, but
or mud run. It's mud run.
No. It was the mud walk, like over. It's over. I think on 490, like going towards Castleberry. It's like that little back area or whatever, off Reinhardt or whatever. I don't remember it vividly, but there was the mud walk we did, and then medieval times. We did that. I remember doing medieval times. That was a field trip. Another thing I wanted to ask you too, because I know how when I first met you, you had a lot of like northern terms and slang.
Well, there was also real quick the rainbow swirl bread. You could buy bread and it was all tie-dye color bread, but it tasted like regular. It tasted like regular bread. And there was also cupcakes. There was these cupcakes that you would get, like the Tasty Cakes brand. Yeah. So take the cake, but it's like it tastes like my mom's homemade chocolate cake. And then on top had cream cheese icing built into the top of the cupcake. So it wasn't like icing that you like take and you icing the cupcake. It's already built into the cupcake. And then had like these little chocolate chips. Oh my God, it was so good. It was a 4-pack and you get it from Weiss's. Like that chip brand, there was actually a store back home called Weiss.
Was it spelled the same way?
Yeah, and then there was also Redner's and Wegmans. And Weiss's, they had these barrels, like wooden barrels, and they have them throughout the store. And around the one corner was those little juice barrels that probably taste like crap.
Oh yeah, the ones full of sugar.
And they were like 5 cents. And my mom used to let me pick out a few. And then if you went down by the cold section, there was 2, and it had those little Keebler cracker sticks with the cheese that are just so good still to this day.
Oh, like the Dunkaroos almost.
Yeah, they have those, and you could pick those out. But we didn't really eat out, so I don't really know about a lot of restaurants.
No.
Or like food. It was always homemade, and if my mom didn't cook, we were grilling. So, but those small little food things.
Well, that's funny too because like. I have, because I almost say it was like 12, 13.
Oh, and Turkey Hill.
Okay, hold
chocolate peanut butter ice cream. That is something that you, if you don't have if you can get your hands on Turkey Hill ice cream, you gotta do it because it is the shit.
Okay, well,
especially the peanut butter. You have shavings of peanut butter. Oh my God, it's so good.
All right, before I was rudely interrupted.
Sorry.
The Turkey Hill. I remember the first time I saw Wawa's before it became really, really popular down here and just started flocking down here.
They used to have really good donuts.
Yeah, they were really good. I mean, that's the first time I actually went to a Wawa was up north in Virginia when I went up there for the summer and
They better bring Turkey Hills down here now.
I don't know. Maybe. You never know.
Oh my God.
You think it would work down here, though?
I don't know. The right Wawa's down from up north.
Yeah, that's true.
What were you going to ask me? You said something about...
slang, like your words and stuff. Because like down here, when I say, like, oh, can we
toboggan?
I don't even know what the hell that is. But
a toboggan is a big sleigh, but it's like a thick plastic, and it has like a rope on the front, and you sit like 2 to 3
Christmas
people.
Story.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a real thing, man. And then saucers. My sister and I had orange and green saucers. They were plastic. And then there was this big pond behind us. Kind of like, that's really kind of what I would call it, but there was like big grates. And then like in the summertime, it would fill with water from all the rain.
Yeah.
And then Christmas time came and it would be like bare bones. But you never had to worry about snakes, bears, any type of wild animals back there. It was like in the backyard.
See, you got to worry about that down here a lot.
But then it would go up. So we would walk down there with not a worry in the world about getting like kidnapped or anything like that. We would take the toboggan and everything, cut through the yard because it led into behind our shed, and it was a big hill. Like it was
so
a
you just
big
bombed
divot.
that hill.
So we would just like into the woods, and then our friends on the up the street would come down too, and we would do it. But you never had to worry about like, is someone lurking in the woods? Is something lurking in the woods? It was always all the.
You felt secure.
Yeah, there was no leaves, obviously, but you could see. You could like your parents could see you like all the way up the street. It was that bare. Like you could be all the way at the tip where the Wrigleys lived, and they could see what we were doing. So everybody looked out for one another.
Well, lucky you.
Whereas down here, it's like each his own, man.
Yeah.
There's no place like home.
I guess so. Yeah. But no, because I know you have certain terms and everything else. Like I was trying to say, because like
my A's.
Well, your A's, and then you would say, instead of saying when I first met you, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to the grocery store. You're like, what do you mean grocery store? Oh, you mean the market?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I gotta go to the market. Broom.
Yeah, that
broom is a big thing back home.
That bothered me to the T. I'm like,
I always say I have to broom, or oh yeah, I broomed today. That's northern slang.
I'm like, you swept? That's what it's called, sweeping?
Or very
we would sit here and argue about that. We would sit and argue about that the whole time too, between brooming and then sweeping.
You're using a broom to broom. It's broom.
No, you're using are you using a broom to sweep?
We're gonna stop right now.
Why?
Yeah. The way I say yeah, I can be at work and all my patients, some patients, if they are travelers, I've had many say, "Are you from Philly? Are you from Pennsylvania?" And I'll look at them like, yeah, why? One time I had a guy that said, "So do you miss living back home in the north?" And I said, "Excuse me? Like, what the heck? What? How do you know I'm from the north? The way you say yeah." He's like, "It's not just yeah, it's yeah."
Oh, you draw it out.
You draw. Yeah, it's like it's a northern draw. And then when you water.
Oh God, that's one. That is a big one too, because I've caught your mom saying it like that.
Like I say, I have to go to the store, I have to get water, because of being down here now 15 years. It's like, okay,
yeah, it just kind of went away.
Talk, or you become people that you're around. Yeah. But then toilet.
Yeah,
it's not toilet. I still say toilet. Oh my God. Did you flush the toilet?
No. Oh. Yeah, how, you guys never, that was one thing I remember you never experienced too, because I remember that vividly.
What?
Krispy Kreme donuts. You remember that?
Krispy Kreme, I had never had a Krispy Kreme donut until 2 years ago when I went to my conference for work.
Yeah, you've never
experienced it. Daytona Beach, yes. Let's go to Krispy Kreme. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, I almost died right then and there. I'm like, are you serious? How is that possible?
Listen, we got donuts, kick-ass donuts, you know, from Krispy Kreme, we got from Zern's, the flea market. And let me tell you about that. That flea market is open, and man, you can find some killer treasures there. Donuts, oh my God, they're so good. You cannot get them anywhere else. They had sprinkles, but the top was all green or all yellow or all orange or all purple and all pink and blue. And I used to always get a donut every single time.
That is pure disgusting. I hate sprinkles on donuts. That is the worst thing ever.
The one stand was all these little breakable figurines and statues. And my mom always used to give me some. I still have some. You know, since I had to save and collect all my little goodies from my kid, I still have them. My little squirrel, my kitties, my frog with the blocks, the kitty that has my birth date on it, all those special things. And down here, you can't find that stuff anywhere. You go to a flea market. There is no, what flea market can you go to? Flea markets down here are okay, you knit pot holders and I knit scarves, or this person knits little
it's more
phone cases. It's all modernized. It's not... Oh, yeah. Wow, they have those here? It's not a true flea market.
The last great flea market was the flea market over in Sanford in Fun World.
Yeah, but even when I went there for the first time with you, I was like, what kind of flea market is this?
Because you're used to the posh of what yours was.
Yeah, but...
You don't understand. You just don't understand. Were there any theme parks or anything
Yes!
else? Oh, wait. Let me finish asking the question first. Wait, jump the gun. Was there any like flea markets or anything else up there that you remember? Flea markets or amusement parks? Okay, so here's part two, actually, of where we left off. We were talking about theme parks.
They're different up there than down here, back home than down here.
Like, so give me some specifics. What do you guys have up north that you usually don't have down here for amusement parks? Was there anything like?
Well, good.
Was there anything like, out of the ordinary, or just something small or kind of like hidden that nobody knows about that you guys know about up north?
Well, there wasn't just the flea market Zern, but there was also Jake's every Saturday at 10 to 2.
Oh, these were flea markets.
Jake's was a flea market.
Oh, okay.
But Jake's was not Zern's. Jake's was like a more modern, where you find like used baby items, gently used. Whereas down here you have like consignment shops where you can buy, sell. For like kid that stuff. They had Beanie Babies, TY. Oh my god, that was like the place to get Beanie Babies. But yes, that was Jake's, but it wasn't as good as Zern's. Zern's was like a true flea market. Gotcha. Which is still there to this day. I would love to go up there and show you Zern's, but the one and only amusement park, there's nothing like it. Knoebels. That theme park is the theme park, and if you've not gone there, you gotta go. I still cannot wait to take Riley there, and because it is like a true theme park. It's not like Universal. It's not like Islands of Adventure. It's totally different. Wooden roller coasters, true wooden roller coasters. They have a big pool area. They have the water park, and they have a big, huge, ginormous pool. They have constant games throughout the park. It's not just over in this section.
Also, it's kind of like amusement park / fairish.
It's kind of like combined, yeah. So like there are no fairs back home. So like down here you have Sanford, the Apopka, the Central Florida,
the Volusia,
Lake County Fair. There is none of that there. It's if you go to an amusement park, you're going to the amusement park with a fair inside of it. Oh. And it's always like that. So every time you go to Knoebels, you always have the fair side of it too. Anytime you go to Dorney Park, you have the fair side. You go to Hershey Park. We got to go to Hershey Park.
I went to Hershey Park when I went up there.
Six Flags. I've never been to Six Flags.
Yeah, I know there's one in New Jersey, I think, as well, too. Have you been to King's Dominion as well? No? No. I've heard about it. Like, I saw it when I was up there when visiting family and everything, but we didn't get to go there. We went to Hershey Park. We did that. I've been there, so
yeah,
that one's pretty cool.
I heard about the planetarium.
Yeah.
The tickets are very inexpensive to go.
Really?
Even still this day, when I looked them up, just out of curiosity, I was like, "Wow, are you serious?" Like,
you said it's still in business?
Knoebels, yeah. I not too long ago looked up Knoebels to see, and there was a video from 2015.
Oh yeah, that's not that recent, but not that old.
Well, this was a couple years. That was about 2 years ago, though.
Yeah. So that's not.
But then recently, I looked it up again to see. There's a pool. Not many people back home have pools and ground pools. You basically have an above ground pool only, or you get a blow up one. Like every summer, I got a blow up pool or a slip and slide, and then really the real way you had fun back home, because there is no water park by itself like Volcano Bay or Aquatica. There is none of that. Yeah. If you go to the amusement park, that's where you get to your water park. It's all combined into one big amusement park. Where you put the sprinkler underneath your neighbor's trampoline.
Yeah, there.
That's literally what we would do.
Yeah, we would do that too.
Or water balloons. But yeah, there was no like pool. There was a public pool that we went to once, but it was
public pools are like you got to be careful with those.
Well, back home, it's like if you get to go to the public pool, like you're lucky.
Yeah.
Because you have to pay to get into it.
Yeah, that's how Seminole High School used to be like that, to where you had to pay to get in.
Yeah.
before they kind of just shut it down completely. Like I don't think they do it during the summers anymore. They used to, like way back in the day, they used to do that to where they will allow people to come in during the summer and use the pool and stuff.
But the one thing I miss the most is skiing.
Skiing. I've never seen snow. I've never skied, and I've never snowboarded. So
yeah, snowboard. That's a joke. That's a dumb ass sport.
in your eyes,
that
apparently.
is a dumb. That does not even compare to the idea and the sport and the skill of skiing.
You sound like a preppy ass white girl right now.
Okay, but listen, from starting at 6 is when I started skiing, and then you also have tubing. Let me tell you, I went down the high mountains. I was on the kiddie slopes. Oh. One time I went down so fast. I'll never forget this. My dad was so mad when he finally got to the end of the slope. He's like, "You could have hurt yourself. You could have gotten into," because it's woods.
Yeah.
So you're skiing on the slope, so anything can happen. It's deep snow. And but yeah, skiing was. And then when we went to Knoebels, my parents always told us the night before. And it was
so
always at 7 o'clock at night. They'd be on the deck smoking their cigarettes and talking with the lights on, the awning out.
Yeah.
And they would say, "Oh, Rippy and Lauren, come out here." And they say, "Oh, we're going somewhere tomorrow. We're going." And my dad would always say, "Knoebels." And then it was my mom already had the stuff packed and everything. Like they had it stashed. We wouldn't figure it out. And then we would go. We get there for when they opened. And you had to go through the. You remember when we went to Arizona and all the trees, like the windy roads?
Yeah.
You went through stuff like that, yeah. That's and cool. Then you could start seeing the park.
Oh.
From a distance.
That's pretty cool.
And yeah, I mean there was no lockers and dressing rooms. So like if you go to the parks down here,
like
you
right
literally
now,
park
crazy.
And you have your car open and you hold towels up and that's how you change into your clothes or your bathing suit. There are no locker rooms, there's bathrooms, but it's not like down here where you have lockers and you change and you have bigger stalls and all this. But
do you ever wish you could go back, just to visit or actually permanently live there? Like, because I know you're talking about a bunch of things.
There's no future up there.
Oh, you think there's really? You think so?
No, it's not the way it's just run down.
Kind of just lost its luster after so many years.
I mean, I'm sure they've changed things.
Yeah.
But, no, I'm going to visit, Visit, show you and Riley the Knoebels, go to Hershey Park, show you the neighborhood I used to live in, show you the actual house, not just in pictures.
Yeah.
And just show you where I'm from.
That's pretty cool, yeah. It'd be nice to see your neck of the woods and see how you used to live.
I mean, I don't know what I would choose to do first.
There's so much for you
to go just back to Arizona.
Or that's another time.
To go back home. And then when you got to Knoebels, there was the eating area, all the old-fashioned wooden picnic tables. And you could get these fries, these cheesy fries. Oh my gosh, there's no cheese fries like Knoebels. And they had waffles with a square of ice cream, perfectly cut, and it was chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. That is the best ice cream sandwich you can ever eat. It's 2 waffles, toasted warm waffles with Neapolitan. No, it's Neapolitan ice cream in the middle.
Yeah.
It beats
banana
a normal ice cream sandwich.
Cake? It beats a funnel cake?
It beats funnel cake. I mean, these waffles are big. And you got all this ice cream. Oh my God. We always got it. As soon as we got to Knoebels, we would go in, we'd sit down at the picnic table, we'd get something to eat, have the ice cream sandwich, and then we'd, boom, get into the park.
Oh my God. Oh man. So that's been pretty interesting.
But we never got a lot of, they had one area of souvenirs, and that was the last thing my dad let us do. We'd go to the souvenir shop, and he and I would always pick something out. We used to be able to pick one thing. We got one thing each, and the last thing I remember getting was what's in the kitchen, that little carousel pencil sharpener. And it's got the little horses, so when you actually sharpen your pencil, it moves, and my dad and I picked that out together.
It's pretty neat.
But like the gift shops down here at the parks, you got stuffed animals, you got shirts, you got bracelets, you got this, you got that, you got like all this stuff. Yeah. Like, how can you really appreciate a gift shop? Because the gift shops that I remember from amusement parks aren't like that.
Think about it. So down here is tourist attraction city.
Like, yeah, or like your name's on everything, or every shirt says Orlando, Florida.
Yes, because that's what we're mainly known for.
We're Universal. I'd rather have a shirt that says Knubbles on it.
Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. You want to say?
So that's where I'm from, back home. And another thing you don't really see back home too is a lot of cops. You don't see a lot of cops either. If you see a cop, you know something's up. Okay. You don't see you don't see cops just strolling around or sitting on the corner or sitting with their window open with this big old gadget in front of them where it's like speed trapping people.
It's called a radar gun.
Okay, radar gun.
Speed gun.
Or even speed traps. You don't see that down up there either. You rarely see a police officer.
Okay, are we good now?
And you actually don't call them cops back home. You literally call them a police officer.
Yeah, wow.
So when we came down here and people started saying cops, I'm like, are you talking about police officer?
Oh my goodness.
So, but yeah, that's down the road of my roots.
Wow.
And I can't wait till the day I can show you guys some stuff.
All right. Well, that's been another episode. If you like what you hear, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Follow the pod on Instagram at WavesPod. Follow us on Twitter at OffWavesPod. If you like what you hear, you can also email the pod at WavesPod with 2 S's, wavespodcast@gmail.com. All right, you guys have a good one. Peace.
Peace.